It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. On this video, we're going to be taking a look at the theory that Sam and Henry might survive longer than they did in the video game. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. Now, this comes from an article that Screen Rant posted. I will leave a link in the description so you can go and check it out. But what it really comes down to is Sam and Henry might actually have a bit of a different story in the TV adaptation than they did in the video game, and they might survive a bit longer. Of course, in the Last of Us video game, Joel and Ellie met Henry and Sam during their time in Pittsburgh, and they were actually trying to avoid the hunters in the video game. However, in the TV adaptation, one key change is we know that Henry and Sam will be in Kansas City instead. So Ellie and Joel will meet Henry and Sam in Kansas City, which means by the time Joel and Ellie meet Sam and Henry, they would have traveled further and they would have been together surviving for a longer period of time, which means that their bond would be stronger and the connection that they have would be much stronger than their connection in the video game when they first met Sam and Henry. The other part of it is we know that in the TV adaptation, they are expanding the Hunters storyline and they're having them be a very sophisticated and strong revolutionary movement in Kansas City. And they're actually doing a backstory for the Hunters, which means that that whole story with Sam and Henry running away from the Hunters will also be expanded, and we could potentially get some sort of a backstory for how they've been fleeing from the Hunters for a longer period of time. Now, with all of that said, I think it's probably highly unlikely for Sam and Henry to survive past their video game story. Maybe by a little bit, but not by much. In the video game, the brothers, Sam and Henry's story served a different purpose than the purpose that it's going to have in the TV adaptation. In the video game, the purpose for Sam and Henry being introduced and the story for them was to build on Joel and Ellie's relationship and to make their relationship stronger. So Sam and Henry's tragedy served the protagonists of the story first and foremost, who were obviously Joel and Ellie, before it served any purpose for their own story. But like I said, because of the strong relationship that Joel and Ellie may already have when they meet Sam and Henry, if they bring in Sam and Henry's story the exact same way, it might not necessarily fit, because of course it would be sort of useless. So instead, I feel like what they will potentially do to Sam and Henry in the TV adaptation will probably serve themselves more than Joel and Ellie, which means that they might have a more relevant role in the story and they might live a bit longer than their video game story. Now, at the end of the day, they still have to get the same fate as they did in the video game, and the reason for that is simple. It would complicate the story for them to tag along Joel and Ellie until they reach their destination. And obviously, based on a lot of the background, behind the scenes stuff that we've been following, we know that they're not gonna be with them for a much longer period of time than the video game in the TV adaptation. But another thing I do want to mention is we do know that Sam in the TV adaptation will be deaf, which I think is adding a layer to the story to potentially have the Henry and Sam storyline more impactful on its own, for its own purpose, rather than serving the Joel and Ellie story. But with that said, that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I am interested to know your thoughts and opinions, so share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.